If this organization doesn't work out, there is a really high chance that many young people will die. It is important to remember how important our organization and mission is to this community through all this minutiae and occasional drama. The public sector has largely overlooked this section of town. They have actively failed them, and some will argue that this failure is by design. Either way, it is up to us to ensure that they have the quality of life necessary to succeed in the future. It is up to us to ensure that these parents are in a position to give these kids a solid foundation for the present and future. We are, quite literally, a life-saving venture. We are in the business of saving lives. That, above all else, is the reason that we exist. With all that being said, I have developed this first 100 days plan that outlines how we are going to revamp our services and get these donors enthusiastic about funding our ventures once again. I will also discuss the rollout plan for our records management app that came down from regional, who will affect, and who will be able to access our records in the near future. Choosing childcare as a top priority for our plan was easy because parents, particularly young parents, pay exorbitant, ridiculous prices for healthcare, and these costs influence what they do with the rest of their money. The financial and mental relief of affordable childcare is the foundation for parents who may not be able to command a large salary due to the lack of work experience and can literally not afford to stay home with the child. The money saved opens up a new world for parents to comfortably access other parts of our program, such as the tutoring, suburb enrichment, and the sports, which we'll discuss later. I know this firsthand with the experience of having a working wife and a toddler. The times when we did not have a regular babysitter due to vacations or them moving added an entire day of stress to our day-to-day functions. It was like a cloud was being cast over everything else that we did until we got that situation resolved. So I can only imagine how much that stress is amplified for someone without the luxury of commanding a large salary or having another parent or family member who is able to help. Specifically, we will provide affordable, comprehensive childcare services for working parents. I will hire a childcare coordinator and give clear, reasonable, and quantifiable directives to follow. The effectiveness of this new childcare service will be measured by the percentage of eligible parents using the new system and an anonymous Yelp-like system that provides feedback from parents using this system. We will implement a system where the parent will never have to worry about childcare during the work week again, and we will provide a network of local daycare centers and specialists who will be able to give their services around the clock and services for those parents who have shift work during that time. These resources will primarily be scouted and ID'd by the child care coordinator. The first one would be to find a building or other appropriate space for sale in order to have our own daycare center. Whenever we're able to find that space, we'll need funds to afford the rent and utilities, and we'll also need to identify the local certified child care specialists and ensure that they are compensated well enough for them to be available when the organization needs them. We will also need to reach out to local families for donations to help the child care fill the child care center with posters, toys, blankets, beds, and the like in order to make the center look and feel welcoming for the children being saved. The second priority of my plan will cover tutoring. I chose tutoring because it is the bedrock for students to succeed academically. Effective tutoring is massively important because it not only enables the students to do better in school, but it also gives students the confidence that they can improve in a given subject with the right amount of effort and instruction. And give the student a mentor, someone who is genuinely invested in the student succeeding academically and staying out of trouble. We've already covered the ways that the public sector is failing our clients, but we'll be here to fill that gap and ensure that they have a quality education and solid footing to pursue more education if they choose. We will revamp tutoring services by attracting highly qualified candidates in writing, math, and science with competitive hourly wages. These tutors will provide standardized test prep and college application consulting as well. This task will be headed by a tutoring coordinator who will be tasked to recruit and train staff to provide quality one-on-one tutoring and mentorship to the students. I will hire someone within the community who already has a rapport within this community and can reach the students easier than someone who will be considered an outsider. This organization we will track the effectiveness of the new service. Pardon me. We will track the progress and effectiveness of this new service by the improvement in the grades, testing, and behavior of the students being served. In order for this tutoring venture to succeed, we will need local schools or homes for stable, effective learning spaces. These tutors will need the current best practices regarding the subjects they want to tutor, and they will also need standardized set prep in order to study for these tests that unfairly gauge college readiness. We would also like to provide interactive learning games for the students in order to have fun and learn in these creative, fun ways. This center can and should be one of the cornerstones of our community, but it won't be able to come to fruition without the help of that community, so we really need to plug in and get involved with them. The third priority of our revamp will be summer enrichment. Summer enrichment is a valuable and important resource for our organization to provide, because besides the normal fears of a brain drain during the summer months, these kids have 40 hours to fill during the week that were filled by school. With 43 hours a week, not a ton of money, and no template for what you're going to do, you're more likely going to get in trouble. So that's the issue. That's the issue with these kids during the summer. And our program will be able to make sure that they're not only learning this at this time, but they are able to explore their interests and curiosities in depth within a safe, fun, and intellectually stimulating environment. For this portion, our organization will provide college visits, academic camps, and internships through local companies. We will also collaborate with the local community centers like the YMCA to provide deeply discounted summer rates for families with demonstrated financial need. To effectively organize this effort at the ground level, I will hire a summer enrichment manager with prior experience in local client management. Ideally, this individual will already have roots in our community and be familiar with the management personnel of businesses and their clients. They should also be able to pitch universities on the benefits and importance of having the students visit their facilities and opening their summer services. We will track the progress of this program by camp availability, affordability, and participation. For the sector of the plan to be successful, we will need support and sponsorship from local companies and community centers. And we'll also need funds to pay for summer camp hosts and locations. The summer enrichment coordinator will play a major role in procuring discounted rates for these camps in order to make them accessible to our students. Along that vein, we will also need funds for safe transportation to and from these summer camps. The coordinator will work with the local schools to find chaperones, buses, and bus drivers at discounted rates. Like the touring services, the summer enrichment sector requires a large time and monetary investment in order for it to become effective. We chose sports as the last of our priorities because our community already has a stable sports program due to the local schools and the AAU circuit. In fact, these programs may see our organization as competition. But despite this stability, covering the sports sector is still important because of the way it connects and unites the community, whether it's through football, baseball, basketball, soccer, you name it. Everyone comes out for these games and everyone is together and we get to connect, and it's a really positive time. Students can't have enough positive outlets for their energy, so having more opportunities to hone their skills and connect with their friends in positive, low-pressure situations can be really valuable for them. We will have to reach them within the community in order to increase participation for these sports camps and teams. This will involve collaborating with local schools and AAU coaches for best practices for marketing and implementation. We will also have to reserve playing and practice space and time from the local parks and community centers. To effectively implement this strategy on the ground level, I will hire a sports coordinator that has roots to the local community. This will be the most effective way to make the programs alluring for the students and the community to support. To measure the success of the sports program, we will track the increase in participation and the athlete-parent satisfaction and the user feedback to adjust and improve on the future. Okay, so for our records management app, I will hire someone to develop an app that tracks member applications, sign-up forms, medical waivers, accounting, projected staff vacation and appointment times, and daily stats for the child care, tutoring, summer enrichments, and sports sections. Each part will automatically transfer from the programs where the information is initially inputted to this appropriate section in the app. After the app is designed and perfected, I will give access to the board of directors, the C-level employees, and the section coordinators. I will also provide a group chat for each member to give real-time input and for the CEO to arrange meetings. It will be designed to be a one-stop shop for all valuable information regarding the company, its financials, and its progress over time. Okay. We've had our share of adversity over the past few months, but we will emerge from it stronger, better than ever, and ultimately victorious. Remember the stakes. These kids need us, and we are going to make sure that they live up to their potential and become the proud future that we know they're capable of being. We have the plan. Now let's execute.